Well, let me do it like that. No. Okay. Okay. All right. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction and I share my life with you. Today, you guys, our topic's going to be relapse. I'm not going to start until 7 o'clock, but I wanted to come on so that way you guys would all kind of filter in. Hey, Cindy. And so don't worry, I'm not going to start the topic discussion until 7. So that way everybody that's going to be here will be here. So this is what I need for my people. If anyone's in the Real Talk Recovery Facebook group, will you go and let everyone know that we are starting the meeting? Hey, Sarah, what's up, girl? How are you doing today? This is just going to be like our time to kind of like shoot the shit. And then whenever 7 o'clock hits, we're going to start the topic discussion. Okay, guys? So like I said, tonight's discussion is relapse. All right. And how's everybody's week going? How did everybody go on their recovery? Hey, Krissy, did everybody stay sober, or have any of you guys been struggling? Do you want to share? I'll kind of share a little bit, and then if you guys want to share, you can. So this week has been a good week for me. The only thing, and I have my skincare on, so that's why I'm really shiny. The only thing I've really been struggling with this week, you guys, is I binged twice this week. Hey, Misty. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm trying to lose weight, and I'm down 6 pounds. And this week I binged on pizza and some Mexican food. I haven't gained any weight, but I haven't lost any weight. I started out real strong and dropped 6 pounds right off the bat, and I kind of fell back into I just binged. I binged. And that's one thing that I really struggle with is binge eating. It's like an addiction for me. And so I am vlogging my experience trying to lose weight over on my second channel, which is called Bingeaholics Anonymous. And you guys that are subscribed to that channel, y'all are so amazing. You guys helped me so much because I was so embarrassed to say anything about it because I didn't want to say anything because I was afraid you guys would be mad at me, but you guys were just so supportive and everybody was like, it's okay, just keep going. And that's one thing I'm learning is that with binge eating, what I usually do is I'll binge and then I'll beat myself up and I'll binge for like 6 days. But it's like I just have to stop myself at that binge and don't binge another night. So I binged on Wednesday night on pizza, and so I'm not going to binge tonight. And I didn't binge last night, but I had Mexican food, and I should have had 3 small meals, but instead I had just 1 meal, which was Mexican food. So that is one thing that I've been working really hard on this week. And I've just been getting a little distracted, and I'm sure you guys have noticed because I've talked about it here on my channel. When your channel starts growing and you start getting like a little bit more subscribers, sometimes what happens is people that don't like you like make their whole channel around making mean videos about you. And so I have a couple of people who make videos about me every single day. And I got a little distracted with it this week because of the mad amount of ignorance that is just being displayed just because this one person doesn't like me. Hey, Derek. Oh, hold on a second. Okay, there you go. So that kind of got me a little distracted, but I'm back on track. I'm back to ignoring. I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm not going to even, sometimes I just can't help but say anything, you know? Water. So that got me a little distracted. And I really, really, really try to not respond to negativity like that. But sometimes it just becomes so much that I feel like I have to say something. You know what I'm saying? And so I just don't want any of you guys, my supporters, my subscribers, the people who I care about, my recovering addict, family. I never want you guys to think that when I'm saying something and I'm angry, it's never directed towards any of you guys. It's always directed towards those people who have been trolling me for over a year. Okay, so I just want you guys to know that I'm working really hard on ignoring it. And I'm sorry that I kind of fell back into that old behavior, because when I respond, that's old behavior. That's the old Nicole, and I'm not that person anymore. I'm grown. I am an adult. I love myself. I'm in recovery, and I'm trying to set an example of recovery. And when I do things like respond and let those hateful things come, bother me, all it's doing is bringing me down. Okay, so let me teach you guys something that I learned, and it's a spiritual awakening that I had. Okay, and that spiritual awakening has brought on this, what I've learned about this. Okay, oh, hold on. Hi, I'm Lydia. I'm an addict. Wanted to come in and say hi. I'm so sorry I went MIA. I've been watching your videos and I haven't been here for months. I know, girl. I'm so glad you're back, though. Lydia, I love you so much, girl. You are always welcome in here. That's my girl, Lydia, y'all. Everybody welcome Lydia and tell her we're proud of her for coming back in. It's therapeutic to lash out at roaches. They're everywhere. Stay on course. I know that's right. I love you too, Nicole. I miss you. I miss you too, girl. And welcome back to the family. Listen to me. You might fall off a little bit and go off course, you guys, but you'll always have a place here at Real Talk Recovery. I will never shun you or tell you you're not welcome here. Come right back in, get your old seat. Here, I'm pulling you a seat up, girl. You can sit by Cindy and Krissy. Cindy, Krissy, scoot over. Let Lydia sit beside you. Okay? You're always welcome here. We all struggle, okay? And that's what we're going to talk about tonight, you guys. We're going to talk about relapse tonight, okay? We're going to talk about what everybody has probably struggled with sometime or another in their recovery, right? Or maybe you haven't. If you haven't, I want to know. So, but what I'm trying to say is that I'm not that Nicole anymore. I am a better person now. I am, trying to set an example of what recovery looks like, and I'm trying to help other people. Thanks, Derek. Love you. I'm trying to encourage you guys to stay sober and keep choosing life. And when I'm acting like an asshole, that you're probably thinking, well, I don't want to be sober if that's what sober looks like, So I have to remind myself that I'm trying to set an example of recovery, right? And so, but I'm human, I'm human, and I really do, guys. I work hard on trying to do the next right thing, but you're going to see it. When I struggle, it's going to come across in my videos, because I'm as transparent as they come. I'm an open book. So when I'm going through something, you guys are going to know about it, okay? You guys get it here first every day. If I'm going through a hard time, I'm going to tell y'all about it, okay? So that kind of had me distracted a little bit, but I've been thinking all week, like, what could we talk about? What could we talk about, right? What can we talk about in our Mara meeting, okay? So first of all, let me explain to you guys for those of you guys that are new or haven't been here in a while, let me explain to you guys what Mara is, okay? Mara is Medically Assisted Recovery Anonymous. And now you do not have to be on medication-assisted therapy to attend this Mara meeting. Everyone is welcome. This is a one-size-fits-all. One size does not fit all. Listen, let me read this to you because I want you guys to hear about it. Many addicts and alcoholics have honestly desired recovery, but have not felt welcome at recovery meetings. Why? In short, not everyone's healthy, even if they're sober. Therefore, people who are currently utilizing evidence-based science to aid in their recovery sometimes feel unwelcome. Medications such as methadone, naltrexone, Suboxone, buprenorphine, antabuse, Camprol, Paxil, Provigil, Remeron, bupropion, which is Wellbutrin, gabapentin, Sabril, Chemstro, Topamax, among others, are approved by the medical community to be prescribed for various drug and alcohol use disorders. It is inevitable that there will be more medications developed which can save lives. For the basis of this group, recovery is simply to recover from an unsafe lifestyle. Here at Medication Assisted Recovery Anonymous, you are always welcome. Okay? So basically, you are always welcome. Recovery is simply to recover from an unsafe lifestyle, okay? So let's start the meeting. I'm going to go ahead and start it out, you guys. Here we go. Hi, my name is Nicole, and I'd like to welcome you guys to this Mara meeting. let's start out our meeting with a minute of silence. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to have a minute of silence. If you would like to pray to yourself, you may. If you would like to just do a little meditation there, you can. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take my moment of silence for the still sick and suffering addicts that are out there that feel like they don't have any hope and that they don't think they can make it here. So I'm going to take a minute of silence for those people that are still out there struggling. Okay, so we at Medication Assisted Recovery Anonymous believe that medication is a therapeutic tool of recovery that may or may not be discontinued in time, dependent upon the needs of the individual, and that is the MARA preamble. MARA meetings are solution focused. We emphasize no judgment of others, nor harsh judgment of ourselves. We ask that you may not say anything which may interfere with the progress of another human being or one's own progress. On that note, there is no reason to talk about certain drugs or certain alcohol. We wish to maintain a safe lifestyle and help others to learn how to live this way. This is a topic meeting. At this time, please silence any of your phones that you may be carrying or electronic devices. If you have any papers you would like to get signed, you can email them to me at demeon@yahoo.com. This group is autonomous, independent, and may vary from other MARA groups. If you are new to MARA or from out of town and you would like anybody that's getting sober and this is your first day clean, let us know so we can congratulate you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You guys are all welcome here. It doesn't matter if you've got 24 years sober or 24 hours sober, or if you ain't got no sober time. It doesn't matter. You're in here right now, and that's all that matters, because you're taking the first step in your recovery, which is admitting that you have a problem, right? Okay. I want to remind everyone that we do not give medical advice or directions to others. Any medical direction needs to be done by an outside physician. We must stress this because giving medical advice can be dangerous and could lead to death. We want to enjoy life, yet not forget that addiction can be a matter of life or death. Whether or not you are utilizing medically assisted recovery, you are welcome here. We welcome all people seeking recovery from an unsafe lifestyle. MARA has no requirements. No referrals are needed. We have no initiation fees, no contracts to sign. Nothing is required of you, and you are free to come and go as you like. We will not chase you down nor attempt to make you seek recovery. You are a member of this fellowship when you say you are. We welcome all who attend our meetings with open arms. So, being that today's meeting is a topic meeting, we're going to focus on relapse. Okay? Relapse. Or as a general discussion meeting. Let's try to focus on staying in the solution while we share. If the group is crowded, you can ask that they limit their sharing to 5 minutes. All right. Okay. Sounds good. All right. So, yeah. Let me see. Transitions and steps. I have to read this because I want to make sure that you guys that have never been to a MARA meeting understand what it is. Because I was actually talking to the guys in this Facebook group that they created. It's the MARA Facebook group. And they were talking about how they really want to make sure that we stress that it's not AA and it's not NA. Because AA and NRA are very, very different. And this is not AA and NA. This is not AA that accepts medically assisted treatment. This is MARA. This is totally separate from AA and NA. And I really want to make sure that I stress that to you guys because a lot of people get confused, okay? So I want you guys to know that this is a totally different program. So I'm going to read the steps to you guys, and then we're going to start talking about relapse, okay? So these are the 12 steps of Mara. Number 1, as a group, we should help each other to maintain our common welfare. Our recovery may depend upon our unity. 2, our leaders, those are the traditions. Damn it, where's the steps at? Ba 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 ba. There they are. Okay. Number 1, you're going to love it, Lydia. We admitted that without help, we felt an inability to control our addiction and that our lives had become unmanageable. 2, we began to believe that, like all human beings, our power was limited and we needed to learn to let go and learn from others. You're going to hear and you're going to notice that in these 12 steps, God is not mentioned at all. And I know a lot of you guys really struggle with the higher power concept. So I think that Mara would be an amazing fit for a lot of you. 3, we made a decision to accept that we cannot control everything. Assume a mindset of goodwill and seek the wisdom of responsible others and discover our true voice within. 4, we made a searching and fearless inventory of our strengths and weaknesses. 5, admitted to ourselves without reservation and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. 6, we're entirely ready to listen to wise counsel and seek that still small voice within to guide us to change our behaviors which have been harmful to ourselves and others. 7, humbly begin the process of deep change so we could overcome our weakness. 8, made a list of all persons we have harmed and became willing to make amends to them all and to forgive those against whom we have held grudges. 9, we made direct amends to such people wherever possible except when to do so would injure them or others. 10, continued to take personal inventory and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. 11, sought through self-reflection and meditation to improve our awareness and understanding of ourselves and the world around us. And 12, having had an awakening in various ways as a result of these steps, we tried to carry a message of recovery as we understood it to those who still suffer and to practice these principles, including no judgment in all of our affairs. As a group, we should do our best to help others whenever possible. So, as you can see, no judgment is a very big focus here in Mara. And I truly believe that it is because the people who have created Mara are people like me and people like you who have been judged for their choices in their own recovery, which includes taking medication for their mental illness, mental health, addiction, all kinds of stuff. And so we don't judge anybody, okay? So now I want to talk to you guys about relapse, all right? So first of all, I want to talk about, does relapse have to be a part of recovery? So I have heard so many people say, oh, relapse is a part of recovery. I've heard it so many times. I used to hear it when I was in rehab back in 2002, I think it was. And the first treatment center I ever went to, they said, relapse is a part of recovery. Okay, Angel. Thank you, girl. Annie told us that you were okay in the other group, but I appreciate you for coming in here. You guys, everybody say a prayer for Angel because she almost thought she was having a heart attack this morning. And I'm glad you're okay, girl. Just try to relax and take a break, okay? So I hear so much that, relapse is a part of recovery. And I used to truly believe that relapse was a part of recovery. But I want to challenge you guys' thinking on that, okay? Okay, so let's talk about what recovery is. So recovery is the return of something lost, okay? So once we were lost and now we're found in recovery, okay? The return of something lost. So that's what recovery is. And relapse is the deterioration after a time, after a time of doing well, staying sober, it's a deterioration after that time, okay? So, in fact, let me get the relapses. Okay. a lot of people, and I also believe that a relapse is when you stay in the addiction after you slip and fall. So a lot of people can have slips, okay? Like maybe they took a pill one day and that was it and they got right back on the wagon. A relapse is when you stay out, okay? And you keep taking pills and you keep doing dope and you keep snorting cocaine and all those things, all right? So that's what relapse is and that's what recovery is, okay? Now, when people say relapse is a part of recovery, I have a different opinion and I want to share with you guys what I think and you tell me what you think. So I think that relapse is a part of active addiction. And I believe that it has nothing to do with recovery, because in recovery we're staying sober and we're working a program, right? So relapse is a part of active addiction, and relapse happens in our minds long before we ever pick up a drink or a drug, okay? A lot of the times, many times I have relapsed, okay? And I'm going to be completely transparent with you guys. Every single time that I have relapsed, it was because I wanted to get high. When I look back at my old behaviors and I look back at the things I was doing when I relapsed, it was because I didn't want to make changes. I wanted to hang on to the old people, places, and things that were in my life that were causing me heartache and pain. Okay? Hey, Nick. And so relapse is a part of active addiction. Relapse does not have to be a part of your recovery. Okay? Nowadays, relapse equals death. Okay? If you're sober and then you go back out, you're risking your life. And that's how serious it is for me today. I don't want to die. I've been relapsed for a good couple of months now, and I'm so ready to be done again. Well, Sarah, you can be done, baby. Hey, Vegas. Hey, Amy. All you have to do is start, girl. That's all. What's stopping you? Okay, and I'm not, listen to me. You know, I love you, girl. I love you. Okay, but why haven't you reached out to me? Why haven't you emailed me? I will help you get sober. I will help you. All you have to do is be willing to make the change, and I will help you with everything, anything that you need help with. Anything that you need help with, I will help guide you. Okay? All you have to do is take a step in the right direction. Put one foot in front of the other, okay? Relapse is it going to equal death, okay? That's how serious you have to think about it, you guys. And I've lost so many friends because they wanted to get high one last time. Okay? Hey, 80s baby. They wanted to get high one last time, and guess what happened? That one last time was their last time. And they're dead. They're dead in the grave. You know, I hate that. And that could have been me, okay? I want you guys to know that my journey to getting sober has not been easy, all right? I was a chronic relapser. I stayed high every single day of my life, all right? I couldn't put together a week. I couldn't put together a month, right? Nick, okay, so Nick just said the one last time just killed his best friend. Hey, Mom. And that's kind of like why I wanted to talk to you guys about this, because Nick had made a video earlier this week about his best friend relapsed and died of an overdose, you guys. Okay? And that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. It is so scary to me because we have to look at relapse as a potential death sentence. You might as well think, I'm putting my life on the line. I'm risking my life. Okay, I know it's hard, you guys. I know how cunning, baffling, and powerful the disease of addiction is, okay? But this is the thing. You can't do this alone, all right? I tried to get sober by myself for many years, okay? What my mind would tell me is, I can do this. I don't need anybody's help. I should be able to handle this on my own. Right? That was what my pride and my ego and my addiction was telling me. You know, I've got this. I'll start tomorrow. I won't get high tomorrow. And then tomorrow came and guess where I was? The dope man's house. And then I would say, I'm not going to get high tomorrow then. And then tomorrow would come again. And I would be at the dope man's house, right? Because I was trying to do it on my own. I was resting on my own willpower, which getting sober has nothing to do with willpower, you guys, at all right? If we could all just will our way into sobriety, we would all be sober, right? If I could just get sober by having willpower, then I would have been sober a long time ago, and so would you. Okay, it's not that simple. That's why you have to reach out and get help. Okay, do not let your addiction kill you. Do not be so full of pride that you don't reach out for help, and don't be so full of shame that you don't reach out for help. There is nothing to be ashamed of. Okay, if you're struggling, then put your hand up and ask somebody to help you. You know, if you're in a room and you're on YouTube and you're watching a recovery channel and you're not sober, then why aren't you reaching out to that person that's operating that recovery channel? Why aren't you messaging somebody that's sober? You know? Thank you, guys. It just sucks because he had 10 months and literally wanted to do it one more time. He finally got money and a good job and relationships. It's crazy when you think someone is doing good. And that's the thing. One more time, you guys. In outpatient, I opted to not go anymore, and a counselor asked me, "What are you running from?" And I thought, myself. I wasn't ready, and I didn't want help. Yeah, and that's exactly what you're running from. Because here's the thing, you guys. When you get sober, you have to finally look at yourself and realize all the fucked up shit that's wrong with you, right? Look at me. I had to finally get sober and look at myself and realize I had been ruining everyone's life around me, including my own. A lot of times people self-sabotage because they don't believe that they're worth it. They don't believe that they're worth being loved. It's very easy to shoot your lights out. Right. It is. Okay. And you're right, Mom. That's so true. And that's the thing, you guys. You are worthy. And you have to stop beating yourself down and start believing in yourself. Okay, listen. My son had to get taken away from me, okay? Y'all know my story, and if you don't, I'll give you a quick synopsis, okay? I shot dope for 10 years, okay? I was shooting meth, I was shooting Roxy's, I was shooting anything that would go in a syringe, basically, okay? I was a hot mess express. I was homeless, I was living on the streets, I was having sex with dudes to get free dope, having sex with fucking anybody I could get money from, okay? Then when I met Neil, I started taking his money, and then all kinds of craziness, right? So when we had my son, I thought, I'm going to get sober, but I didn't get sober, you guys. I failed miserably, and my son got taken away from me. And the minute my son got taken away from me, I realized that was what woke me up. And I was like, I don't want to live my life like this anymore. It was probably a good 3 years of my active addiction at the end that I had gotten to a point where I didn't want to live my life like that anymore, but I didn't know how to change, okay? I didn't know how to make a change, all right? But people all around me were trying to help me make changes, but I didn't want to listen to what they were saying. So when my son got taken, it was like a wake-up call for me, you guys. And I'm telling you right now, getting sober and changing my life and getting into a program of recovery, hands down the best thing I ever did. I have never felt better about me in my whole entire life. I spent so many years getting high every day, trying to not feel shitty about myself, trying to block out tragedy and trauma and depression and anxiety, right? For so many years. And now today, all I had to do was get help and start helping others. And I'm telling you guys, it has changed my life. Working with a therapist, going to meetings, doing these recovery groups has changed my life forever. I am so, so grateful to be alive. You know, life is not perfect. My life is not perfect, you guys. Sometimes I think, God, I don't even want to get out of the bed today, right? But it's so much better than killing myself every day with dope and putting myself through compromising situations and doing stuff I'm not proud of. You know, going around and being with people and stealing and hurting others, it was not anything that I want to do anymore. And I'm so thankful to be alive so that way I can share that with other people. But there was a time where if you told me that I was going to get sober and I was going to have a son and a husband, I would have laughed in your face and told you, no, I'm going to die with a needle hanging out of my arm. Relapse happens in our minds, okay? A lot of the times, what will happen is we'll start lapsing in our judgment, or we'll start returning to old behaviors, okay? One of the things that is a for sure tip off for me when I know I'm kind of pulling back and I'm going back into my old ways is when I start becoming complacent, okay? And I don't want to get on and do my recovery groups, or I'm not concerned about making sure that my girls are all on the right page in their recovery, because I work with, several other women that are doing their recovery, trying to help them. And so when I start like withdrawing and isolating, that is what I know. Hey, your mind is trying to take you somewhere else, right? Thinking and having triggers is a part of life, you guys. It's a part of life, right? I have triggers every day, okay? Let me tell you guys about something that I experience it every day because I go to work and I have to go by this place every single day. Every day I think about, and I cannot help it, you guys, because it was a part of my life. I think about old stuff I did when I was in my active addiction, right? Especially when I was, like funny times, or a song will come on, especially music, and it will take me back, you guys. It'll take me back to that moment in time when I was getting high and it was fun, right? So my mom brought up a really good point about romanticizing, right? Well, it's called euphoric recall, okay? Our minds, okay, the brain is so powerful, you guys. Your mind will only remember the good times you had getting high. Okay, I want you to right now just think of a time right now and tell me, it wasn't the time you overdosed. No, it was that time, you was getting that good and you were hanging out and everybody was kicking it. That's what your mind automatically goes to, is the good shit, right? When I try to think about bad things that happened in my addiction, I have to say, okay, Nicole, let's think about that time you overdosed. Okay, Nicole, let's think about that time you got staph infection in your thigh, right? And they had to cut it out and drain it. Music is a huge trigger for some people, especially rap music. Oh, for sure. I was just talking about that I think it was like a month or so ago. I used to listen to this song. It's called She Will by Lil Wayne and Drake. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That song was like the song I freaking blew Roxy's in my veins every day too, okay? And so when that song She Will comes on, I will automatically go back to a time in my active addiction in my mind. I can't help it. It just takes me there. That's euphoric recall. Okay, so in the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, right? The brain is so crazy, girl. Anything you can think of, a good time, that's where our brain is going to go. It's going to go automatically to the good time, right? Yes, 80s baby. And I will be dancing and all kinds of crazy stuff, right? And I was at work one day and that song came on in my earphone and I was getting it, y'all, and it takes me back to that time. So a lot of the times in the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, I'm going to tell you guys, it talks about euphoric recall, and it talks about how when we are in active addiction or we're in a relapse, what's that?
We have enough time to go to...
Baby, it's nighttime.
No, it isn't.
You want to say hi to Mama? Nana? No? Okay. So, what was I even saying? Okay. When we're in a relapse, right? Oh, gosh. I just totally lost my mind.
It's not nighttime.
Well, it's about to be. Where's your daddy at? Go get your daddy. Tell him I'm doing a video and get your daddy.
Mom.
Yes, my love.
Can we go to... What's it called?
Go ask daddy.
I don't know what it's called. It's from Pinnacle Mountain.
Oh, the visitor center? No, baby. Go talk to Daddy about it. Okay, Goldust, listen to me. Okay, anyways, so active addiction and being in relapse, right? A lot of the times, you guys, it's so hard to pull ourselves out of that, especially when, okay, so let's get me back on focus about relapse. Okay, here we go. So, when you've been sober 6 months, 3 months, a year, and then you relapse. So many times, you guys, I see people who are in the program or in other programs and they have, some years sober or some months sober and they're doing so well and then they relapse. And the shame and the guilt and the embarrassment of relapsing keeps them from coming back and getting sober. And that's the last thing I want anybody to ever feel like when I'm talking about relapse. If you relapse, the only thing you need to do is say, hey, y'all, I relapsed. I relapsed, and then come right back. Do not worry about it. The reason I say don't worry about it, because you're alive still. Now, I'm not telling you guys to go out and relapse because it's serious and I don't want you to die. But I also don't want you to be so ashamed that you stay out and don't come back in. Okay, that's where I was at. Okay, so about 7 years ago, I got a good 10 months sober. I was living in Little Rock. I had just gotten a job. I had just got paroled out of prison. Okay, and I was, hey, Megan, I am so glad you're here, girl. We're talking about relapse. So I had paroled out of prison. Okay, I had done a year and 2 months in prison. And I got out of prison. They were like, yo, you can't come back to this county. You have to go live somewhere else. You're not allowed back here in Hot Springs. And I remember being so upset because I wanted to move back by my mom and dad and everybody, but they wouldn't let me. So I ended up moving here to Little Rock and moving into a halfway house. And in that halfway house, you guys, I thrived. I started going to meetings. I got a sponsor. I got really active in my recovery. And I was doing great. I got an amazing job. I started working my ass off in management at Kroger. Your girl was doing it, right? I was doing it, you guys. And I was doing so well. And what happened was I let myself start putting my job in front of my recovery. Okay, so a lot of the times I talk to you guys about how your recovery has to be your number one focus, okay? Not your kids, not your jobs, not your parents, not your house, not your car. Nothing can come before your recovery. Do you want to know why I say that? Not even your kids, you guys. Because without your recovery, you won't have your kids. Without your recovery, you won't have a job. Without your recovery, you won't be alive. Okay? So it doesn't mean you don't love your kids. It doesn't mean you're not responsible. It means that you're putting your life first. So that way you can have your kids and your family and take care of them. Without you being healthy, you can't take care of other people, right? Girl, I did the same thing, Megan. I got so excited about my job, right? I was like, man, I'm killing it. And if y'all didn't know this, if y'all couldn't tell, I'm a workaholic, okay? On my YouTube channel, I'm going to upload every day. I'm going to be here every day for y'all because I do things to the extreme. So many of us are like that in addiction. We're extremists, right? And so when I got a job, I was so damn proud of myself. And instead of getting validation from my self-confidence and from myself, I was seeking for validation through my work, okay? And I was wanting my paycheck and my boss and all these other things to validate my self-worth. And so I started throwing myself into my job, right? Thinking, oh, I'll stay busy this way and I'll be making money. But you guys, that's the thing. Us addicts, we have to find balance, okay? And so many of us suffer and struggle with low self-esteem and low self-worth. And so many of us are insecure and searching for validation, okay? And so a lot of the times I'll find myself, even with my channel, you guys, and I have to pull myself up and I have to check myself, where I seek validation from you guys and from my supporters. And I don't like, wait a second, Nicole, you know who you are and you know that you are worthy. You don't need co-signers. And that's how I was really bad and when I first got sober. And so I was putting that job at the front, that was my main focus. And just like that, bam, I relapsed. Okay, stopped going to my meetings, stopped calling my sponsor, relapsed. Okay, and guess what ended up happening, you guys? That job that I was putting before my recovery, that job that was so important to me, that was validating my existence, guess what? I lost that job. I lost that job, you know? And now that job's been long gone. Long gone. And I put so much of myself into that job and so much into that, trying to get that validation back and make myself feel worthy because I was working hard and I was providing, right? That doesn't matter, okay? If you're not alive, you ain't going to have a job anyway. Okay, so for those of you who are saying, I can't go to treatment, I can't get sober, I got a job. Or I can't go to treatment, I can't get sober, I can't leave my kids, right? Well, honey, if you keep getting high, you ain't going to be with them anyway. You're going to be dead. You're going to be dead. Okay? When my husband was struggling with his with a relapse, it was probably about a year ago. One of the things that he was really struggling with was, I got to have my job. I got to have my job. And I remember him and his mom, they were both really focused on him losing his job. And I sat them both down and I said, fuck that job. Fuck that job. If you die, you're not going to have that job anyway. Yeah, baby. I want my husband. I want my friend. I don't care about that job. I would rather have my husband alive and poor as hell. Okay? Poor as hell. Working out fucking, I don't care, working and flipping burgers, than to have him stressed out, getting high, and trying to maintain a job that's kicking his ass and taking advantage. Okay? I would rather live in a little old shack with my best friend and my son than to be worried about him relapsing because of his job, right? Hey, Marissa, I was just talking about you that I texted you the other day, or, Patreoned you. Those are all excuses for not facing your reality. People will help you when you're honest. Right. Okay, so let's talk about that. Okay. So I am the queen of making excuses. Okay, you guys, especially when I was still using drugs. All right. That's when I struggled with it the most. But here's the thing. I truly believe that when you're in your active addiction, you don't even realize that's what you're doing. Okay. You do not realize that you're making excuses. Now, some of us do, but for real, I thought for a long time that I couldn't get sober and I couldn't leave my jobs because I felt like that was the end all be all, right? That I would never get another chance to have a job like that, right? Please, Marissa, because I got a new phone and I need your phone number, so please text me right now so I have your number. Anybody that didn't know that, I got a new phone. Please text me your guys' number, okay? So, anyway, yeah. I want you guys to know, excuses. That's what we're talking about. So, I used to make excuses for everything, you guys. I couldn't get sober because I had... Shoot. What was one of the main excuses that I, never got myself together for? I would just not be ready. I would just tell my mom, maybe in a week I'll go, or maybe some other time. But my mom had gotten to a point, you guys, where she didn't really even call me and ask me if I was going to get sober. I think, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Mom. When I was out there getting high, I think my parents had just gotten to a point where they were like, she's going to die in her addiction. She's going to die. She's going to die, and we're going to have to bury her. They took life insurance out on me. How many of you guys' parents took life insurance plans out on you? Neil's parents took 2 out on his ass. And that's sad, you guys, when your parents are preparing to bury you. Okay? Oh, well, we care, 80s baby. We care. And that's the thing, you guys, it gets to a point where everyone is watching you and everyone knows you're dying except for you. Everyone knows that you're dying except for you. And then when you start to finally realize that you're killing yourself, you feel so far gone. And listen, I don't want to lose any of you guys, okay? So I'm fixing to get real with you guys. Okay, I understand. I understand how difficult it is to make change. Okay? That's what it is. I know how scary it is to get sober. I know how scary it is to try things you've never tried before. A lot of us have either grown up around people who were active addicts, maybe our parents were. You couldn't take off work to go into rehab, or you'd lose your job, or you would lose your medicals, so you couldn't do it. Yes, and yes, especially when I was working at Rolando's. Remember, Mom? Because they had promoted me to like a manager or something, and I was like really gung ho on staying at that job. But I was shooting cocaine in the bathroom, you guys. My manager found me passed out in the back seat of my car on Xanax bars one night. Crazy. I understand, but what it is it's fear, okay? I want you guys to realize that. If you're in active addiction and you've thought about getting sober, the reason it's fear, okay? You're afraid of change. Maybe you don't know how to be sober. Do you think I knew how to be sober? The last time I was sober I was 16 and a half, okay? I was 16 and a half the last time I was actually clean and sober. And I had no idea how to live my life, you guys. I was a teenager. And so getting sober was a whole new world. I didn't understand. I didn't know what it took to be a grown up. I didn't know what it took to be, like not spaced out on drugs all the time. I didn't know how to cope with my life without using substances. I was talking to a girl today who reached out to me on Instagram because she watches the channel, and she was talking to me about how she struggles with social anxiety now that she's sober. And I was telling her, I totally understand. And I'm going to explain it to you guys just like I explained it to her. So when we are on drugs and alcohol, picture yourself as a vehicle. You're a car, okay? You know the bumper cars when you go to the fair. So when you're driving the bumper car around, and you bump into somebody, you bounce off, right? The bumper is alcohol. The bumper is drugs, right? That's how we go around and we interact with other people. We have that bumper that bounces us off, and we're like, hey, what's up? Boom, ba 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 boom. Okay, that's what drugs and alcohol are. They're our bumper, right? When you remove that bumper from our vehicle and then we just start crashing into people, then we're crashing. Our windows are breaking, our cars are crunching together, our tires are going flat. That's what happens whenever you take that bumper off. It's the same way in real life with you. When you take that bumper of drugs and alcohol off and then you have to interact with people one-on-one, it's uncomfortable. It's awkward, right?
Mom,
I was an awkward.
To eat.
Yeah, go get your daddy and have him do it. He's up.
He doesn't.
What do you want to eat?
What do we have?
I don't know. Let me finish this up and then go talk to your daddy. I'm finishing it.
My dad doesn't care.
Go tell him I said to feed you right now. Neil! Sorry. Neil is literally up. So anyway, that's why Daddy's home, so I can do these videos with you guys. Okay. So that's what it's like without drugs and alcohol in our system. It's awkward and it's overwhelming and it's uncomfortable and it's new and it's changed and it's different. You're full of fear, right? But you can get back on track, right? Okay, 80s baby, love you. I'll talk to you later, babe. Mom says, I always believed that God had a bigger plan for you. I was just waiting for you to catch up with that. Got an all renew and I started going to Al-Anon and I realized you could save you. Right. Only me could save me. So what I wanted to talk to you guys about the relapse was I wanted to talk to you guys and make you understand that, if you've gotten sober, you don't have to relapse. Okay. You don't have to pick up ever again. Okay. That doesn't have to be a part of your recovery. And I want to encourage each one of you guys who are struggling to not get high. Okay, if you're in this meeting with us tonight and you're struggling in active addiction, don't get high tonight. Okay, start right now and don't get high. All you have to do is take it one day at a time. All right, if you're struggling and you are like, I can't get sober on my own, I can't do it out here, Nicole, I don't know what I'm going to do. I want to tell you to get into detox. Honestly, you guys, I could go to detox a million times over. I love going in there. I mean, not love it, but like I could go in there and hang out with all the girls and be sick and everybody, we would just like hang out and then we would go in the pizza room, in the TV room, and we would watch movies together. And then when I would get sick, I would go lay down and then I would come out again. It's like it's not scary and it's not bad, right? Detox could save some of your guys' life, and then when you get out, you'll have a fresh start. There's no shame in needing help, okay? But relapse does not have to be a part of your recovery, and I don't want any of you guys to be relapsing because I don't want you to die. Okay, I don't want to hear about, oh, did you guys hear about Marissa? She decided to go get one more and she died. I don't want to hear about that, okay? Sorry, Marissa, I'm just using you as an example. Okay, so here we go. I want to talk a little bit about relapse prevention, okay? And so relapse prevention is basically planning to prevent a relapse. What do you do if you start feeling like you want to go out and get high? First and foremost, if you start thinking about getting high, the number one thing you need to do is tell somebody. Okay? You need to let somebody know, hey, I've been thinking about getting high. I need help. Just because, you think about it doesn't mean you have to act on it. All right? I think 80s Baby said something like that earlier. We all have triggers and we all have thoughts. But the difference between now and then is we don't have to act on them, okay? Okay, while you can create a relapse prevention plan on your own, it may be helpful to walk through the process with someone who has knowledge of the topic, like a substance abuse counselor. Relapse plans can be verbalized, but may also be written in order to have a more clear outline of what steps should be taken, okay? Okay. So, first and foremost, it says, assess your history with drugs and alcohol, okay? It is important to be in a stable mental state when creating a relapse prevention plan. After you feel you are in a good place, begin by trying to determine the factors surrounding your use, okay? So a lot of the times what you can do is you can say, when I use, it's usually because I feel what way, okay? Do you get tempted to use because you're stressed? Do you get feelings that you want to use because you're overwhelmed, bored? Hey, Deidre, what's up, girl? Do you have, urges to use because you're hanging out with other people that are getting high? These are all things that you can take into consideration, all right? And then what you need to do is you need to write those things down and be aware of it. Be aware that, hey, when I work too many hours in a week, 60 hours a week, I get stressed out and then I think about using because I'm like, I got to have something to take the edge off. I know for me that was a big trigger, all right? Another big trigger for me, thing that kind of makes me want to think about using is anxiety, feeling anxious, right? Because I want to calm myself down, okay? So if we can identify all of the above, I know that's right. If we can identify things that tip us off or push us over the edge, and we can be ready for those things when they happen, okay? So a relapse prevention plan is going to take you being aware, okay? Self-awareness is a gift, okay? I'm telling you guys, for the longest time I lived in my own little bubble and I wasn't aware of anything, especially my own self. But since I've gotten sober, I have realized so much about me, okay? Self-awareness slapped me in my face. It punched me in my nose, okay? One day I was at work and I was like, chilling, doing my job, and then all of a sudden I looked around and it felt like everyone was staring at me. And it was like something shifted in my life, and that's when I realized that all my thoughts, my actions, everything I did in my life was affecting me and other people. And when I started to realize that what I did affected others, then self-awareness just came and I started being able to say, hey, I need to make changes. If I want to spread a message of hope and recovery, I need to deliver this message in a different way. I need to be, I need to come to people with love and tolerance and kindness and caring and let them know that they're not alone. For a long time, you guys, I used to be just in a little, like I'm blind. I used to be blind. I used to be very aggressive, and today I've changed everything about myself, and it's because I want to help as many people as I can, right? And being self-aware has taught me all these things that trigger me and all these things that make me think. When I think about using, these are the things that kind of push me over into thinking about that. Okay. Determine any signs that could lead to relapse and have an action plan for each one. Okay? Determine any signs that could lead to relapse. Okay? So a lot of the times, things that for me that would lead me to relapse were if I was around drugs. Okay? I'm not going to seek out drugs, at least not today. But if somebody's around me that has them, that's I haven't been around drugs in so many years, you guys. I don't know what I would do if I seen dope. I would freak out. Okay, so that's why I really, really work hard on making sure that I keep only sober people around me. Only people that are trying to work towards their own recovery. I try to stick with the winners, right? I want to have people around me who are building me up and challenging me to be a better person. Okay, I don't want to have people that are sucking me dry. Okay, I want to have people around me that encourage me to make changes and do better for myself and challenge me when I'm, maybe not acting right, or maybe I'm being a little asshole. Because I'm human, man. I can act like a bitch sometimes, and I got people in my life today that'll say, "You're really acting like a bitch. What's going on? Are you struggling? Are you going through something?" And that's a good thing, you guys. Sometimes it's uncomfortable, right, to have people kind of like call you out on your shit. But I'm going to tell you something right now. When you can really start taking that constructive criticism and looking at it and saying, you know what, I need to make a change with that. I could have done something different there. That's when things are you're growing, right? You don't have to get defensive because somebody points something out about you that you might need to change, right? And so what I'm learning is that if somebody's taking the time to help me, encourage me, and maybe correct me, that's somebody I want to keep in my life because they're trying to help me to be better, right? They're wanting me to improve. Have a step-by-step plan of what will happen if you do relapse or come close to relapsing. Okay, so this is a really good one. What would you do if you came close to relapsing? Would you just act like it didn't happen and just brush it off? Or would you go and here's the thing. This is my number one rule for anything that has to do with relapse. Tell on yourself. Tell on your addiction. Do not keep it a secret. I'm telling you guys, secrets lead to relapse. Hiding things leads to relapse. Okay? Being dishonest leads to relapse. Okay? Cutting corners, cheating, all these things lead to relapse. Okay? If I relapsed, the number one thing I would do is call my sponsor, come on my YouTube channel, and tell you guys about it. Okay, Mom, love you. I would tell my sponsor, I would tell you guys about it, and I would tell my support system. Okay? I would get with somebody right away who was sober, and if I had any drugs on me, I would give them to that person to get rid of, to throw away. Okay? I would automatically reach out for help. If I had to, I would go straight into treatment. Okay? Because when I get high, you guys, I got to get out of that situation right away. All right? I would surrender. Okay? So if you relapse or you're in a relapse, okay, you need to tell on yourself right now. Okay? Just tell on yourself. I think Sarah came in and said she has been relapsed. Okay, so Sarah, you did the first part. You told on yourself. Okay, now what you need to do is seek help, seek change. If you're relapsed right now and you can't get to a treatment center or a meeting, go to the ER. Go to the emergency room and tell them, hey, I used drugs today and I need help. Can you please hold me? Keep me on a 72-hour hold. Okay? And then maybe they can put you somewhere after that. I'm telling you guys, this is life and death, okay? You're probably, oh, come on, Nicole, it's not that big of a deal. No, it is that big of a deal, okay? It is that serious, all right? Take your life back. Don't let drugs and alcohol rule you anymore. It's not worth it. It's only going to lead to one place, okay? You're going to die. Okay. Triggers. First, list the people, places, and things that have the potential to lead to a relapse. Triggers are anything that could lead to using or drinking again. No matter how long and hard you think, it may not be possible to list every potential trigger. Sometimes you won't know a trigger until it already is in front of you, in which case it is important to have a plan to confront such triggers. The following questions could be helpful when listing triggers. Who could I see that would remind me of drug use? What places did I use drugs that could trigger me? What addictive thoughts could make me relapse? And what can I do if I cannot avoid things that trigger me? The phrase, this is such a good, I'm so glad I found this. Okay. The phrase cravings is used to refer to the feeling an addict has when they wish to use again. Cravings can sometimes lead to relapse. However, if you have a solid plan to confront such cravings, a relapse won't be on your radar. So, we have to have a plan. So that's what I'm getting from this whole thing. And that's what I always want you guys to do is have a plan. When I first got sober, you guys, I planned out my days hour by hour. Do you want to know why I did that? Because I couldn't have any free time on my hands. Because if I did, I would relapse. I would go get high because I wouldn't know what to do with myself. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? It's like that saying that idle hands are the devil's playground. It is so true, you guys. Please, relapse does not have to be a part of your recovery. Okay? It doesn't. In today's day and age, relapse can lead to you dying. And I don't want to lose any of the Real Talk Recovery family. I don't want any of you guys to pass away from a drug overdose. I would just, I do not want that to happen. I want to encourage you, if you're a woman and you're here on my channel and you're struggling with your addiction, okay? If you want to reach out, all you have to do is email me, okay? If you want to join the Real Talk Recovery Facebook group, we have a great group of men and women in that group that will be there to support you. But you have to take the first step and you have to reach out for the help. Okay? Nobody knows that you're struggling if you don't reach out for help. It's very, very important. And it's a humbling experience, you guys, because you're going to realize that you don't know what's best for you. If you did, you wouldn't be getting high. Okay? It humbled me. I had to learn that I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to live my life. Okay? And at 4 years sober, I'm just now learning how to live my life without drugs and alcohol. I'm just now learning how to be healthy. I'm just now learning how to have a healthy relationship, have healthy friendships with my girlfriends that I have now. I didn't have healthy relationships before. I want to really let you guys know that, there's nothing to be ashamed of if you're relapsed or in the middle of a relapse. But one thing there is to be ashamed of is if you don't get your ass out of that relapse and come get help. Don't stay in it. Don't. And that's weak. Here's the thing. A lot of people think, oh, it's so weak. It's weak to ask for help. No, actually, it's the opposite of weak. It's courageous. It's strong. When you ask for help, man, I'm telling you what. For so many years, I beat myself down because I thought I should be able to handle this on my own. And for so many years, I lost out on life. 10 fucking years of relapsing. Back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. 10 years of telling myself, oh, I can do this. I don't need help. I've got this. Wasted my fucking life. I'm 37 years old. And I wasted my whole 20s in active addiction. And half my 30s.
You give me something to eat?
Yes, I'm about to hang up now. Do not lose your life to addiction, okay? Do not waste your life, you guys. Please reach out to me if you need help, okay? Email me, message me on Instagram. All my social medias are linked in my description. If you're a lady and you want extra recovery support and you want to join my Patreon, you can join for $3 a month, $5 a month, $10 a month, or $25 a month. But only if you want to. That's a way you can support my channel to help me get a camera and all that good stuff, because I'm trying to make it big here, y'all. And a lot of the girls that are in our chats are in my Patreon, like Marissa, Cindy, Hearts, other Cindy, Angel, Sonia. There's about 10 of us in Patreon. So if you're a woman and you want to join my Patreon, I only take women. I don't work with the men because I can't do that, you guys, because it's a compromising situation. But if you're a lady and you want to join Patreon, please come over and join. I have it linked in my community tab. Nate, stop. Okay, second, if you can't join Patreon and that's not something you're interested in doing, like I was saying before, we have a free Facebook group and it's for recovery support. So I have many options for recovery support. You don't have to pay into my Patreon to get support from me. Okay, like I said, you can connect with me through email for free, or you can come on Facebook and join our Facebook group. But if you feel like you want to join Patreon, I would love to have you guys. You know that. But I just want to encourage you guys, don't give up. Tell them, Nate. Say, Nate, don't give up. Say, don't give up, guys.
Give up.
Keep trying, Nate. Keep trying. And we want you to change your lives.
What else are you going to say?
We want you to get sober and live in recovery.
We want you to get sober and
live in recovery. Because you are worth it. Tell them they're worth it. And we love you. Don't we?
You are a friend, we love you, and then we poop on your head.
And we love to poop on your head too.
Yeah.
And kids deserve their parents. So if you're struggling in active addiction and you have kids, they need you. Okay? Just like my baby boy, y'all. I'm so grateful to be sober today because I can be a part of my son's life. And I can teach him how to be a good person. Right? And we can help other people, huh? And that's what we do, you guys. We help other people. And we try to encourage them. And that right there is what my son's learning because of my recovery. You know what? He wouldn't have learned that if I hadn't gotten sober. What he was learning from me in my active addiction was how to pass out and not be a parent, how to not be present. But today, I don't have to live like that anymore. Today, I can be a mom. And today I can do right. So, I'm going to go be a mom and make this boy some food because he wants some food now. Even though he ate a whole pizza at Chuck E. Cheese with his best friend today. And then he had chicken fries after that.
Okay. Gummies.
And then gummies. And what else? This was a great meeting, you guys.
This is what I had before gummies.
What? Pizza and chicken fries.
Nope.
Uh-huh.
No.
Ouch.
No, I had something when we were in here.
Okay, guys. Anyways, I'm going to close this Mara meeting and let you guys know, like I said, I love you guys so much. Please email me if you're struggling. And I'll see you guys tomorrow at noon because I'm doing a special meeting for George from my benzo help. All right. Love y'all. Okay, guys.